Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. I love this topic, and I've got notes, but you know what? I don't need them. Today is day 68 of our Supersize You annual challenge, and we're talking about the importance of having multiple streams of income. My dad taught me this when I was a little girl by example, and then through being a great parent, but he taught us not to have only one stream of income. He worked in corporate America his entire career for the same company, actually. And on the side, he always had different endeavors, different businesses going on. He had real estate. I've lost track of how many businesses he was involved in, but it was a lot, as my youngest granddaughter would say. And by his example, I learned early on in my career, I bought into my first business when I had my first job out of college. I had my own business when I was 13, but that was with help from my dad. I had an ice business, and other businesses and things while I was going to school and college, which helped me to pay for college, right? I worked in corporate America, and I had a couple of things on the side that I did in order to earn money for college. So even as young as, 18, 19, 20, I knew that I was going to have multiple streams of income someday. And in corporate America, I had my job, but I also invested as much as I possibly could in our 401k plans, especially the matching ones. If you're not doing that, if you're an employee and your employer matches whatever you put in up to a certain percent, that is free money. Absolutely positively put it in there, let them match it, get vested in it so that you've got at least one little nest egg working for you without you having to do anything about it, right? So did those kind of things, but then bought into my first business with another person, with a partner. I bought into his and his wife's business when I was 25. It was my first job out of college. I had some health challenges, so it took me longer to get through college than the average Joe, but I ended up with 3 degrees, so it worked out in my favor too. So what does multiple streams of income mean? It means you're not dependent on one source of income. And then in the early 2000s, I did Mark Victor Hansen and Robert Allen's program that was all about different streams of income, being an author, information products, which is why I was interested in it. My ex-husband was interested in the real estate, so we got heavily involved in real estate. And I can't remember what all the other things were, but we learned all about different multiple streams of income, and we actually set those up. And why is that important? And then during my corporate career, I always had after buying into that first business, I got involved in others. The longest standing one turned into that business. It started out as a liquor store, but turned into Italian food manufacturing. And then my sister and I bought my partner out and ran it together for a bunch of years. And then in 2003, I bought my sister out. 2003, 2004. I have to go back and look at my notes, and then ran that without her. So, and had other things going on the side too as well, right? But why is this important? Well, I will tell you from a personal standpoint, it absolutely positively changed how I showed up at my job, how I showed up at work. I didn't have to do things that didn't seem right to me from a value standpoint, because I always knew I had a cushion of, if I were to lose this job today, I am not going to be starving because I have this to fall back on. Well, and for 25 plus years, I loved working in corporate America. Why? Best training ground for running and building and growing and supersizing my own businesses that there is. Saw how the big companies actually do things and all of the ways that they suck and you could do it better. So that was really beneficial. But from the sense of confidence and security, and also the other biggest thing about that was I had a whole different mindset than most of my peers. I had the owner's mindset. What would I do if this was my business, was the filter I ran everything through. And so I made much better decisions and strategic plays for the business and for my career than other people did. And not because I was smarter than them, I just decided to look at my employment through a different lens than most people do. I looked at it as a terrific paid training program to create what I wanted to create in the world. And that's why I'm creating a school community now. I want to simplify and share that and have other people share their wisdom with other people that are coming up and wanting to build and have multiple streams of income as well. So my question for you is, I've been just rambling with my own nonsense and stories. My question for you is, do you have more than one stream of income? Do you have some passive income? Passive income is my absolute favorite. And multiple streams of income for us can be anything. Anything that brings money into our life is a stream of income, right? So if you have created anything, or if you have another skill that you can sell or use, that is a multiple stream of income and a backup income should your job or business or something have a challenge. During the COVID pandemic, lots of people got to play with this, and the ones that played with it and did something about it were still standing when all of the dust, and I think it's still clearing, from the pandemic happened. But for the vast majority of us, we were at home twiddling our thumbs or working on house projects or reading that stack of books that had been piling up for decades, or doing home improvement projects, whatever it was, while we waited for the 2 weeks to go by. That actually turned into like 2 years. So what did I do? I started an every other month 30+ day get up and go challenge, just to keep me moving and to keep other people moving as well, which was another stream of income. So our question today, do you have multiple streams of income? It's either yes or no. Either you do or you don't. Did you know that wealthy people on average have 7 or more streams of income? That told me I need a couple more, right? I think I'm up to about 4 or 5 right now. And they come and they go depending on what I'm interested in. And that's how it should be, because I think we should follow the things that we're interested in, because it means that they're for us. All right, I rambled throughout this whole video. Couple of questions. Number 1, put in the comments below if you have multiple streams of income or not. And then if so, just how many. You don't have to say what they are. You can say what they are if you want to share with other people, but you don't have to. And then I didn't look at my notes or my outline at all, so I'm sure I went way off topic on this and off book. But sometimes I think if you just realize that some things sound really hard to do, but they're actually really easy. Like early on, when I bought into my first company, all I had to do was pay money, right? And I had money because I had just started my first job in college. And I didn't have a house. I just had an apartment and other things when I first started out. So it was an easy decision to say, yeah, I can do this. I can help you with this. I can share my information and knowledge and wisdom that I've learned to help you manage and run this better. So it was mostly time and a little bit of money that I had to put in. And was it worth it? Absolutely, positively. Turned into the longest running business that I had in my career. It was 35 years, and sold it following my divorce. So that's another story. All right. If I can help you in any way, if you have questions about this, please hit me up and ask. Otherwise, I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.